finally start your hair business and be successful? This series is going to take you through this in 6 weeks. So why should you listen to me? Well, I have been able to get my hair business successful within 6 months and grow it within 1 year to the stage where it gets consistent sales every day. First of all, let's start with legal. And if you're not from the UK, you can skip to the next video, because here I'm just going to explain to you how to start the right way. Firstly, by doing what is legal.
Welcome
to the legal side. Well, the first tip in launching your hair business and getting it to be successful, including sourcing the right vendor, is the legal step. If this is your first year to start your hair business, don't put too much pressure around legal. Don't put too much pressure around saying, I want to set up my limited company, I want to do all of that, I want to register, because you still have time. Don't quote me. Within a certain period of time, I believe you have a year. It's going to take a year for you to settle. So I think HMRC, I've given you that year in order for you to get yourself aligned. So when you first decide to start your wig business, just think about the timeline that you want to be able to register for your business. But don't put the pressure yet and think, oh my goodness, I need to register now, I need to do this. No, you don't have to. Once you get your business to like at least 6 months in, then you can start planning this. However, what I need to let you know is the tip here. Like, you need to keep all of your receipts. You need to keep all the documents. You need to keep everything, because when it's time to register to HMRC, then you know that you're fully ready. And you don't want to get to a stage where it's time to register and you don't have all of the right receipts, because that can mess things up, and we don't want to get to that stage. So keep all of your receipts, keep all the details that you need, keep everything. Go on the HMRC website, make sure that you have the list of requirements. Once you have that, you can then tick it along as you go within your business. But honestly, there is no pressure to start setting up LTDs, to start doing all of that, because it's quite intense. You could do it if you want. But for me, my preference, I noticed that I was able to achieve so much more, and then registered my business in like 6 months. That was enough time for me to actually kickstart my business. Another tip that I would say is get an accountant. There are a few ones like Zero. They obviously have like accounting software that you can have. So get an accounting software and just put all of these numbers in as you go. So when it's time to actually do your trial balance and things like that, you could just go into that accounting software and pull everything out, because since you know that, you have all of these details and you don't have to panic. Also, some of these accounting have these facilities where you can actually scan your receipts on them. So it's kind of like an iCloud storage thing where you can scan on them. So if you're able to do that, that is perfect. It just makes it easier to gather all of this information when you need it. Now, moving on to the next, let's go to the more interesting part on how you can successfully start your hair business and source the best vendors for your business. So let's go. Now it's time to actually finally start that hair business. The first thing you need to think about is a name. It sounds pretty like it's just a name. No, it's not just a name. There are so many businesses out there, and you might end up finding out that the name that you really want is actually gone. Talk to your partner, talk to your friends, talk about ideas, mix the names together, see what fits. For example, I have Olux Hair, which is Ori's Luxury Hair, and this was the name that I thought of with my husband, because I felt like I was going into luxury hair and I felt it was right to just put my name on it and brand it. But I don't want to say Ori's Luxury. That's just too long. So it's really important to actually make sure that you get a name and then do a lot of research on that name, because you might find out later down the line that, oh, this name is actually gone, and you don't want to do that, especially when it comes to your socials. Now, moving on to the next one, which kind of aligns with your name, is social media. Once you have that name, once you're sure that this is the name that you want, you need to write all those lists of names down, because I know that you're not going to have just one name. You need to have this list of names down, your preferences, and then go onto the social media and check for those names. Usually when you put it on Google, all of the names will come up, including the ones on socials, but the new social media accounts may not pull through the SEO. So it's better to go onto that exact social media and type in the name that you want. Then you can find out actually that this name may work for you. Once you're able to look into like TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever you want to do, you type that name, you feel like, okay, this name looks good. The next thing is domain. This is really important because obviously you need a website where people can actually get your products from. And if you find out that your domain is already gone, then that's a problem. So you need to be able to go into your domain and just check for the names. I'm going to put the list of where you can find the names on here for you, so you can just see these names, search for the names and see if they are taken off the domain. I tell you, if these names are taken, there is no point, because you need a website and you don't want to have a different name on your website and a different name for your domain, because that will really confuse people and people might think you're trying to scam them, and you don't want that for your business. Once you've gotten the name and you're ready to start, now we need to actually find the products to sell. And obviously that would mean we need to look for a good hair vendor. Welcome to the sourcing section of this video. This is going to take you through the step-by-step on how you can source hair vendors for your hair business, and the good hair vendors, because you can definitely source hair vendors everywhere, but now we are talking about good ones, because we need good ones for your business. I'm going to start with my top 3. So my top 3 websites or social media accounts or things like that I use consistently when it comes to sourcing hair vendors. And why should you listen to me? Because I've been able to test over 20 hair vendors during my research of starting my hair business. It's been a journey. It's been quite expensive, but I believe I am qualified to be able to tell you how to source good hair vendors. Before I move into the sourcing, let me know in the comment section what stage you're at. Are you actually looking for a name? Are you registered already out of excitement? Let me know in the comment section. Let's all have a chat. Let's create a community in the comment section. And trust me, I'm going to be down there having a chat with you. So let's move on to my top 3. Starting with my first, and this is in no particular order because I go back and forth. I have a few videos on this taking you through how to find hair vendors, but now it's been, I think that video has been over almost a year now, and the first one now that I've never shared before is, this is the era of TikTok, where TikTok is basically becoming a search engine. It's basically trying to compete with Google. What I do on TikTok is I literally go on TikTok and I search raw hair vendors. Once I search raw hair vendors, it doesn't have to be raw hair vendors, it can be virgin hair vendors. And the list of videos that come on there, I watch those videos and I go in the comments, guys. The comments will tell you what you need to know. You're going to be seeing a lot of vendors selling. There's a lot of them on TikTok. I feel like most of them are not even no longer on Instagram, except the older ones. The newer ones are all on TikTok begging you to buy their hair. So what you need to do is you need to type in hair vendors or raw hair vendors if you want to be specific. And the videos that come up, or the names, because you do get options. For example, you should be able to see it here on the screen. I have my TikTok open. I'm going to type in hair vendors. And when I type in hair vendors, you're going to see options. You're going to see like top page, you're going to see videos, you're going to see users, and I research both. I go on users, I go on videos, but the reason why I go on videos is because I'm able to tell very quickly if this is a wig seller or a bundle seller like me, or if this is actually a vendor. And honestly, TikTok is one of the best places to find a vendor, but it does take time. It's not quite straightforward. Anything good is not straightforward. Let me just tell you that anything good is not straightforward. So once you go in there, what I do is once I scroll, I'm able to tell if it's a vendor. I'm able to tell, like this one now, this RemyandVirgin.com. Please don't go to him. This is just a video of research. You don't think because I called his name, you can then go on other. Please do your research. And the comments already, I can see, is telling me I bought this hair, waiting on arrival. I'll keep you all updated. So that's why I go on people that review the hair, like people that talk about the hair that they bought. And TikTok is the place for it. This one on my list is India Matte. I've never shared this on YouTube. I've shared it on my TikTok, and I'm going to put the link of my TikTok in the description if you want an in-depth tutorial, because I was able to share how to go on India Matte, how to search specifically. India Matte is a good one for raw Indian hair. It's actually a gem, and even in the comments people are telling me that they've actually gone there, they found their vendors. It is brilliant. But what you need to do is you need to ensure that when you're going into India Matte, you're adding the correct filter, you're looking at reviews, you're looking at videos, because still there's some videos on there that will look processed, and you don't want the processed hair if you're looking to get raw hair vendors. And when I say processed, usually it's either the curls are well defined. I'm going to put a video up here. The curls are well defined. It's looking very shiny. This should be like Chinese hair. Some Chinese are getting really, really good at this as well. They're trying to package their hair like raw hair. Don't you know how a lot of raw hairs do the fold instead of the round thing, which it doesn't really matter, to be honest. But a lot of the raw hair vendors do the folds. They're trying to do that as well. They're trying to have the hair look very less silky, because they're also watching our videos, guys. So you need to make sure you do your research properly when it comes. And India Matte is a really, really good one. The next one on my list is Facebook. This is my favorite. I know I said this in no particular order, but this is my favorite because this is where I actually review all the names that I have gathered. So if I've gathered a name from India Matte, if I've gathered a name from TikTok, if I've gathered a name from Instagram, this is where I do my research. I go into my Facebook and I type in all of these things. You're going to see a lot of people come in there, just say, oh, the hair is horrible, the hair is not nice, the hair is this, that. But take your time, because some people's good hair is equally some people's bad hair. So you need to take your time when you're doing your review. However, this is a top tip. When you type in a name and you then see that there is no comments, nobody's answering a question on this name, then that is a good sign that a hair company is good. Now, I'm not saying the hair company is perfect, because but it shows that there's potential with this particular hair company. Because honestly, I remember I found a vendor and I decided to go on Facebook to do my research, and I searched and this vendor came up and I was like, oh, but I only saw a comment question saying, this vendor, what do you think about this vendor? And two people just liked it and nobody responded. I kid you not. After 4 days, I went back to this particular, because I do have various Facebook groups that I follow. I went back to this particular Facebook group. I typed in the name, the same one, and I could not find that question anymore. I couldn't find it, and I knew that it's been deleted or it's been removed, because that is a good vendor, and that vendor has been my vendor. It has been one of my consistent vendors, like always consistent. So yeah, Facebook is a really, really good one. You can go on there by searching for, I have videos on this. I'm going to put the link as well. Or you can check this video where I take you through an in-depth one on that. You can go on there and search for hair vendors, raw hair vendors, and you see a lot of groups come out. Just join all of the group, but be very cautious, because some groups are very salesy. It's all about marketing for them. It's not actually about helping others. And also, you can also add your own points. So if you like a vendor and you don't mind sharing, it's good to actually share that information on the group as well, just so that it can help somebody else. Or if you cannot stand a vendor, just share it as well, because the more people are sharing, the better the group gets for everyone. If you've watched my video on Facebook, let me know if you've actually tried it before. Put it in the comments if you've tried sourcing a vendor before. As you probably are aware, I actually have a vendor list where I've selected carefully these vendors that I use consistently. And if you want that vendor list, you can find it in the link in description. What I actually do as well though is that I limit the amount of orders placed for vendors. So currently I'm not sure if by the time this video comes off, the vendor list will still be in stock, because it does go out of stock, because I want to be able to track and I want to ensure that my vendors are not overwhelmed and then end up selling nonsense to me and you. So this is why the vendor list does go out of stock. But you can check the link if you're interested, and if it's in stock, good. If it's not, just wait a few more, maybe about a month, then you should be able to get updates on the vendor list. The best way to find out though is on Instagram, updates on stories on when it's time to actually order. Moving on to the next tip on how you can finally start your hair business and source the correct vendor. Let's move on to the time to order. So when it's time to order your hair bundles, I always advise to stick with 3 bundles and a closure, because now you're finally starting your hair business. You don't want to end up buying hair that you would not be able to sell, or hair that you would then end up selling to your customers, and after a week or 2 they're buzzing you to tell you the hair is not of good quality. So this is why I always limit to 3 bundles and a closure, because I know that at least that will keep my funds checked in. And by this time, I believe you should be testing more than 1 vendor. So if you're pouring all of your money into one vendor, I do not advise this at all. I see a lot of people do this. Even some of the vendors I shared here, some of the vendors will contact me saying that somebody ordered hair 3,000 from them. Guys, you're just testing. You should not pour all of your money during the test process. You need to make sure that the hair that you test is what you like. You don't want to end up then going on their Instagram and start chasing them. It just makes things easier when it's done the right way. Now, moving on, once you've got your 3 bundles and a closure, there are several ways that you can do this. One of my favorite is cuticles. I make sure that I check all of my cuticles of my hair to make sure the cuticles are aligned. I do it in several ways. I do it by either shaking the hair, or I do it by doing the cuticle test and just doing a bit of scrape. I have a 7-step hair testing process that I follow, and once I'm able to do the 7 hair tests and you pass at least 6, that's it, you're my vendor, because nobody is perfect. So at least you need to pass 6 out of the 7 for me to then go with you. Another one that I love to do is my curling iron test. I love to do curling iron tests, because if that hair is melting, that's not good. It means there are fillets in the hair and there's synthetic fibers, and it shows you that the hair is not 100% raw or a good quality hair. It doesn't have to be raw for it not to melt. A hair that is melting on the curling iron shows that it's a poorly processed hair filled with synthetic fibers. Next step is styling the hair. So you got your hair now, you've tested it, you're happy, you're excited that this is your vendor, the business is starting to run. You're not forgetting your social media as well. You're thinking, okay, let me just throw 1 or 2 things on my social media. By the way, I'm coming out with how to grow on TikTok. The next video is going to be how to grow on TikTok, how to grow your business on TikTok. So this series is going to be hot, and I'm keeping my promise, guys. Don't worry. I know I haven't been great. I'm keeping my promises. Now it's time to start the week. You're not going to expect to sell this hair straight away, because I don't sell hair that I test. I test the hair for me to wear it. Any hair you see on my hair is going through a test process. Once I'm happy with the test, then I'm okay to order a bundle and then sell it to my customer. This is up to you. Some people will test their hair and then sell it at a reasonable amount, and some people will be very cheeky and then pretend that the hair has not been worn and sell it. And I don't advise this, because your reputation is at stake. But anyway, just showing it out there. So what you do is you style your wig, you style it gorgeously. What I always do, I do 3 hairstyles. When I started my hair business, I started by just getting 3 bundles and a closure. And even though I had some hair coming from orders, I couldn't wait for it. I was so excited. So I went through a 3-step process during the styling of my wig. I styled it using a center part, using a different curling iron, a 1-inch curling iron. I went in doing a side part using a 1.25-inch curling iron. I did another side part using a 2-inch curling iron, Yes, I went that deep. I curled the hair several styles so that I can portray this on my social media. Bear in mind, you've just opened your social media. It's really new. There is nobody on it, and you need to grow that social media. And to do this, you can take them through the journey of, first of all, maybe sourcing your hair. It's up to you. Or you can take them through the journey of you styling your hair and then showing it off. Yeah, you have one style. So for example, you did your first one, which is a center part. You recorded a relatable content with the center part. You recorded a value content with the center part. You recorded like a conversion content with the center part. Then you have 3 content with that center part. That's like 3 videos, and 3 plus the other 3 plus the other 6, that's like 9 videos already that you can start posting on your social media. So this is one tip that I give everyone. You don't have to feel pressured about ordering so many bundles, so many closures, because you want your social media to look full. You can do it, and then you can even go extra and do a color, which I did. After doing all of the styles in black, then I went into color the week, and that gave me a different color, and that was actually my first order. So someone also saw the color and said, "Oh, I like this color. Can you create the same for me?" And yes, and I was able to order another wig and then create that exact color for them. By the way, if you want a video on how to style your wig, whatever, how to color wigs, I have few videos, but if you want more videos on it, let me know in the comment section. If you're able to do all of this, that is it. Your hair business is ready. You can show off to your friends. You can put it on social media. People would know that now you're selling hair, because obviously you're posting all of the hairstyles that you've done. You're posting on your stories. You're even wearing the hair and showing it off as well. If I can give is that if you are just testing 3 bundles and a closure and you want to go through the steps, it's better to leave the lace on for at least few of the tests. And even though you're going to be wearing it for yourself at home, try not to cut the lace. Test the hair at home, do whatever you need to do at home with the lace on. This is because when you have your mannequin head and lace, it looks better than when the lace is off. Now, when you're then done with everything, which is the coloring, and you feel like, okay, you've gotten enough content, then you can cut the lace and start rocking the wig outside. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.